updates? Any players returning or any new injuries?
Well, we have back John Joe Kenny. We have back Brand White. We will not be available James, and we have Coleman out, Richarlison and Lucas Digne injured, suspended.
What is the situation with James Rodriguez? Is that a huge blow given the start he's made to the season?
I played all the game. He had a little problem, and so he needs to rest for this game. I think he will be available for the next game.
And what response have you seen since the Southampton game? And do you think opponents are lifting their game, given they're saying Everton have made a good start to the season, they're top of the league?
No, I think it was not a good day against Southampton. We have moved forward. I think we are preparing well this game. That is important. We want to stay at the top of the table if it's possible. We know that to play against Newcastle is always difficult. They had a good result the last few games, and so. But we are focused. The spirit is good, and we have confidence for the game.
Thanks, Carlo.
Emma Saunders from Premier League Productions, please.
Hi, Carlo.
Hi.
How difficult is it to prepare for a team like Newcastle when they've been so inconsistent so far? Not just their results, but their formations, their tactics as well.
We have to be focused on the opponent team, of course, because you have to try to find the weakness of the team, but we have to be focused on ourselves most of the time. So we are preparing this game to try to avoid the mistake that we did against Southampton. That's it. So, and after that, take in consideration the fact that about the last game that Newcastle played really well, really strong defensively, really well organized, and so we have to take care of this. More focus on ourselves.
Speaking this morning, Steve Bruce said twice how refreshing it is to have a different team that's top of the Premier League table. Is this a new experience for you? You're the team that everyone wants to beat, but it seems like you have neutrals rooting for Everton. It must be strange.
No, I think that this refreshing is good for the Premier League. I think the start of the season there were a lot of strange results, but this means that there is more competitiveness in the Premier League. This is good for the league. I think is important, and also is good for the smaller team on the paper has more ambition.
And just finally, with still many players missing, do you see this weekend as a good opportunity to show just how much strength in depth this Everton side has as title chasers?
Well, I think that the fact that we have players out, I think is important to know the really quality of the squad, the opportunity that the other players has to play and to show their quality and to help the team to stay at the top.
Thank you, Carlo. Good luck this weekend.
Alistair from the BBC.
Hi, Carlo.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask you about a few managers this week. I think Pep Guardiola, Frank Lampard and Steve Bruce this morning have all raised a report about the number of injuries this season. I just wanted to know, especially with soft tissue injuries, I think, have you seen that report, and are you concerned about the number of injuries we're seeing?
Yeah, I saw the report. I think that is really busy schedule. I don't think for us, because We had a lot of game in September, but this month, after the international break, we have only one game a week, and so for us, it's not so bad, the schedule, but for the teams that are involved in Champions League and Europa League is really, really busy, and of course, the fact that there are more injuries for that reason, and of course, the managers are concerned for this. I agreed with this because it's really, really busy schedule. Also, you have to consider that most of the team, after when there is the international break, you are going to lose all the players, and so you are not able to give a rest to them. So it's really, really complicated, and this is the reason because there are more injuries, no doubt for this.
I just wanted to ask you, obviously it's a big game for your team on Sunday, but also Everton women are playing in the FA Cup final against Manchester City. Do you think they can beat Manchester City, and do you have a message for them?
No, first we are, everyone in the club is really excited for this final. That is a great opportunity for the women's team to make the history, to improve the history of this club. And so the message that I can say to them, don't go to play the final because they already achieved this. Go to win the final.
Okay, thanks.
Mike Hughes, please.
As far as last week was concerned, I know you were disappointed because it was a bit of a blot after a great start to the season. What have the players done to show you this week that you're sort of ready for, to go again in the same sort of way that you did last week? In the previous matches rather.
Well, no, I think are little details. I think we have to analyze the game that we played against Southampton. Little details condemned us, so we have to be focused there. More focus on the little details. More concentration. More concentrated in certain situations. It will be a different game against Newcastle, and so we have to be focused on what we have prepared.
How close were you last week to playing Anthony Gordon from the start? Because maybe when he came on in the second half, that was one of the few bright spots to take from the performance, because he showed his pace to good effect on a few occasions. How close was he to starting last week, and is he very firm in your plans for this game against Newcastle?
I think Anthony Gordon has the same possibility to play like the other players that are in the squad. So I have to nominate the first 11, and then, as I said to the players all the time, it's not important to start the game to be in the first 11. It's important to be involved, of course, to play. It doesn't matter if I play from the beginning or if I play in the second half. The target is to help the team for the minutes that I play. And so if I play 5 minutes, I have to help the team in these 5 minutes. This is what really matters, not to be in the first 11. It's not so, I think it's not so important, because for sure, I'm not going to finish with this first 11. Never happened that I start with 11 and I finish with 11. Usually, now there are 3 substitutions. Usually I'm used to use all the 3 substitutions.
And I know that Anthony came knocking at your door, didn't he? He said this week that he made a point of wanting to go in and ask you what more could he do to force his way into your plans on a more regular basis. And it must be good from a manager's point of view to know that somebody like Anthony, young as he is, has got that hunger to want to be in there all the time.
This is good to have motivation to of course, for a young player, the motivation is really important to try to improve every single day as he can. Every single day, being focused, being concentrated in the training, and showing a good spirit. and Anthony is doing this. And also, if he needs to talk to me, he has to come, show his personality, show his character. This is good for him, and is good for our team.
We'll take one more question in the open section before moving to the newspapers. So if you want to raise your hand now. Jim Conlon.
Hi, Carlo. Just a quick question there on Gifney Sigurdsson. He played for Iceland recently in the international break. He scored 2 goals, and he's in a post-match interview. He said he was hoped that you were taking note. Gifney, I suppose, any time you lose a player like James Rodriguez, it's a blow. But to have a player, Gifney Sigurdsson, that would walk into any Premier League team, that must be a real bonus. And obviously, he's gunning to take his chance.
Gylfi looking to take his chance to potentially replace James.
Gylfi can play with James, can play without James, can play everywhere. He has a quality that give him the possibility to play in different positions on the pitch. This is my personal opinion. And all the time that he was involved, in my opinion, he did well. He was, he had good performances.
Okay, we'll now move on to the newspapers, please.